Welcome again to another episode of the Dr. Foster Fix, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorites, what I built an entire practice on, and that is migraines. Welcome again inside the office. We're here where we see patients every single day, and we're talking about migraines today. Now, the simplest way to understand how a migraine hurts is that, call it a food hangover, right? Everybody knows that if you get a hangover from drinking alcohol, your head hurts the next day because of all the alcohol you drank. Like, we know that. But what people don't know is that there's a dietary aspect, a dietary protein aspect that causes systemic inflammation that leads to these symptoms of the migraine. Remember, the brain actually doesn't feel pain itself. It's just the vessels and the soft tissue around the area that cause all the pain. A couple of the cues I'll always ask everyone is, hey, how are your bowel movements? Shh, I didn't say it, you said it. How are your bowel movements? Do you deal with constipation? Because you'll be amazed at the days you don't have a bowel movement or the days you have your migraine symptoms. Now look, what's the other thing that's really important is your food journal, because we'll notice that you may have trigger foods of migraines, a lot of you do, but if you provide an additional dietary support, dietary rehabilitation, facilitate good digestion, you may notice the days you have migraine symptoms when you don't take your digestive support are the days you have migraines, but the days you do take your digestive support, you're able to eat that food without migraines. So that's really, really important. Really try to food journal if you're looking at the cause of your migraines being related to food. And welcome again to the lab. We're going to talk about the dietary protein aspect of what's causing your migraine symptoms. Okay? Now, the diet I like to use is what's called a low/no FODMAP diet. And what does that stand for? It's does food ferment in your gut? So the secret to avoiding migraine symptoms and lowering systemic whole body inflammation as it relates to your protein from your food is easy to absorb simple carbohydrates from your fruits and vegetables and no fiber at all. Inflammation is about ease of absorption for your own gut. People have varying degrees of compromised guts and varying degrees of, if you watch any of my other videos, stress-induced gastroenteric colonic paresis, gut paralysis. So what may be inflammatory to you may not be inflammatory to me. The worst migraine patients I have, I'll have them do baby food texture, low FODMAP fruits and vegetables. Introduce foods like you would to a newborn infant testing foods. Ease of absorption is based off of making sure the food is fully cooked, and your fruits and vegetables, you should eat the ones where you are required to peel off the skin. Most of the fiber component of a fruit and vegetables in the skin, that fiber is difficult to digest for compromised digestion, and it's likely a cause of your inflammation and a cause of your migraine. Go to my website, download my menu, and it's the same exact food list I give to all my patients. It's free. Download it. Fix your own migraines. Eat the food off that food list. I do a specific degree of digestive rehabilitation. Okay, it's how we use herbs to support the digestive process to facilitate better food breakdown and better entry into circulation. It's how we avoid migraines. Okay everybody, so what did we just take? Again, I never give anything to my patients that I don't do myself or have done myself. It's the simplest form of supporting digestion and facilitating a better digestive process, which leads to less systemic inflammation. So the first tablet was my digestive bitters tablet. Now if you've watched some of my videos before, you've seen the bitters and soda water, and that's very, very important. This is what stimulates the neurology of digestion. Okay, so what do? You come over here, you put it noon and evening when you'll have lunch and supper. You put it in lunch and you put it in supper. Again, that stimulates the neurology of digestion, which helps break that stress cycle. The other one I like to give people is your added stomach acid and your added digestive enzymes. This is what facilitates better protein breakdown and better carbohydrate breakdown. 2 of these at lunch, 2 of these at supper. With every single meal, you have to support digestion and the breakdown of food. The last thing I'll give at the time of meal is these concentrated beets right here, which helps open up your gallbladder and facilitate better bile flow. Okay, so I'll pour them 2 at lunch, 2 at supper. This is what it takes to lower the threshold of systemic inflammation that's causing your migraines. Okay, migraine sufferers, we need to make sure that you are not experiencing a food hangover, and make sure you eat foods that absorb easily. So foods that are said to be anti-inflammatory, maybe they're just not so pro-inflammatory because we don't eat their peels. For example, is pineapple legal? Will pineapple cause your migraine? Probably not. Why? You don't eat the skin, you peel it. Okay, same for a banana, same for all your citrus. But if you're not careful, your raspberries, too high a fiber. Apples, peach, pear, plums, those things are more likely to ferment in your gut and are harder to break down and may lead to being a trigger food of migraines. So for our foods, it's all about ease of absorption. So make sure all your vegetables are cooked. We want to avoid all rice, all potatoes, all complex carbohydrates for ease of absorption. But even still, your celery and hummus may be feeding migraines too. Well, that's whole food plant-based. Don't worry about that, it's raw. What you have to make sure is that you absorb your vegetables easily. If you want guidance with this stuff, just go to the food list on my website. Okay, there's no catch, it's free. It's about helping people reduce systemic inflammation. That's the dietary aspect of it, and this is the digestive rehabilitation side of it. Combine those two, and next thing you know, you'll be migraine free for the first time in your entire life. You're welcome. I know you guys have been put through the ringer on your migraines and you're still looking for answers. Okay, you may be skeptical of the advice I've given you, but it's the same advice I'd give to any of my patients to address the dietary protein aspect of systemic inflammation that contributes to migraine symptoms. Okay, I've seen it work. Try it. Try just the food list. Find the digestive herbs that help facilitate good digestive process, and see if you can get your fix. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time on the Dr. Foster Fix.